Have you ever wanted to experience the wide gamut of Western fun at one single location? Hi, I'm Reese Stein. Come with me on an adventure that bridges the ideas of comfort and exploration. Then Chad Booth goes to Moab without really going to Moab. Sounds impossible, but he'll make it a reality. Last but not least, we'll go running with the bison and some special kids. So saddle up and set your sights on the horizon. At Your Leisure is next. Hi, I'm Reese Stein, this week's host for At Your Leisure. Chad and Corby have got the week off, so I get the honors of coming to Torrey, Utah, and the gorgeous Sandstone Inn, which makes a great base of operations for all the fun things there are to do here in the Torrey area. And Backcountry Outfitters is going to be our guide, and we're going to try out a little bit of everything. Sandstone Inn has treated our viewers to numerous packages, and you've told us that you really enjoy the place, so we decided to come down and give it a try for ourselves. That's coming up in just a moment, but now it's time for our travel guide, where Chad takes us to Moab without really going to Moab.
When given the choice between something little and something big, most people automatically think of bigger is better. There is some truth to that, of course, but it always seems like the little things are what make life so enjoyable. For Max Maxiden, bigger is pretty much always better. Max is all about more power, sleeker, faster when it comes to snowmobiles, ATVs, you name it. As the ringleader of the Tri-City Performance crew, Max makes all of his machines exactly that, from turboed to tricked out. That's why today is such a change for Max. Oh, he still has the biggest and best as his chariot, but he's moved from the big to the little, at least in the choice of his destination. And in this case, little is better.
We're in a place called Little Moab. This is the first time I've ever been to this place, so it's kind of a cool area to come out and run and test and have fun. Basically southwest of Utah Lake, and about 3.5 miles off Redwood Road out there west of the highway.
Little Moab isn't at all like its grander namesake in the southwestern edge of Utah. The Vermilion Towers are nowhere near this far paler landscape. But even if it lacks that trademark color, all of the off-road challenges that exist in Moab can be found here, just on the eastern side of Utah Lake. Trails snake high into the hills, offering a contrasting view of blue water and autumn color. Natural rock gardens become perfect for rigs to practice scaling impossible obstacles. All the features of the most famous destinations in the West can be found here, only, again, on a slightly smaller scale.
There's all kinds of stuff you can do, ATVs, you can take your Jeeps out to some of these areas over here, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a good, convenient place to do anything you want, camp and just fun stuff. A lot of dirt roads, you got some hills to climb, it's kind of like, it's more like deserty type terrain. You got some slick rock that's almost like Moab, I like that about this area too. You could definitely come here at least 10 months out of the year.
I see 2 or 3 different areas here that looks like where people have camped and out here, and it's away from everything. I mean, it's, you know, it's not like going down to Moab or Big Sand Mountain down there where there's a kajillion people. I mean, you can come out here and enjoy it and not worry about somebody running into you.
The open trails and empty outcroppings give Max the freedom to push his RZR as far as he wants. Part of the fun of this trip to Little Moab is the chance to test out his aftermarket improvements of the sporty little side-by-side RZR. The boulders on the east side of the rock garden strain the souped-up suspension, while the dirt roads, free of obstructions or other riders, allow Max to get up a little speed.
I've really enjoyed ATVs in the past, but this thing, these things really are cool. And again, you know, it's built so that you can go out and you can go Baja running. You can go rock crawling with them, you can go to Big Sand Mountain, climb the mountain, you know, there's just many things that you can do with them. These are 2 of our demos. One of them is basically a stock motor with California Super Truck suspension under it. This one behind me has actually got a turbo on it. It's a Boondocker turbo that works very well. This machine will run 65 mile an hour down the road easy.
Once he's satisfied his appetite, Max heads back to his trailer, prepared to make any necessary improvements to the Razors right there on the spot. But the experience isn't all about the speed. For riders coming to Little Moab, whether by ATV, Jeep, or Razor, the chance to enjoy a day of riding close to home, or at least within a few miles of all the necessities, allows you to concentrate on the ride, the scenery, and everything that makes a day in the outdoors memorable.
Just letting go of everything, just no care in the world, just I don't think about anything but ride and just do what I love doing, and I just don't think of anything, no worries, just go out and just forget everything and just have a blast, get out of the city, the usual.
Today hasn't changed Max's opinion of bigger is better, but here along the quiet trails and solitary rocks of this minuscule outdoor icon, it's the little things that will make the day worth remembering tomorrow.
You got a lot of diversity in the terrain. You can go rock crawling, you can smoke down these dirt roads and that. There's hills and that to go climb. It's actually a pretty cool area.
For At Your Leisure, I'm Chad Booth.
What fun. Hey, and for more information on Little Moab or any of our travel adventures, check out the At Your Leisure website. Well, we've dropped off the bluff from the Sandstone Inn and we're down here at Backcountry Outfitters, a full-service guide service here in Torrey, Utah, and Cody Clapp is the manager and owner. And Cody, how long have you been here?
We've been here since '99. And we basically specialize in anything outdoors that's fun. We like to do a lot of the fly fishing. We have 7.5 miles of private water here to fish. We also have about 40 lakes that we do pack in horseback and fly fishing stuff up on the mountain. We also do a lot of day horse rides and different things like that down in the park. And we also have ATV rentals and tours. We also have mountain bike rentals and tours, hiking and shuttle service.
And you got the most spectacular scenery in the world to do it in.
Absolutely.
Your window isn't even big enough to list all of the things you have here. Well, let's quit talking about it and go do some of these things. And we will a little later. But coming up right after the commercial, it's our product review.
PGA Championship, US Open, Masters Tournament, At Your Leisure Open. You're only good enough to play in one of these. So join us November 15th for the At Your Leisure Open at Trafalgar, a miniature golf tournament being held this Saturday. Teams of 3 can register for $40. That's only about $12 a person and includes a catered lunch, passes to return to Trafalgar, a chance to be on TV, and win the big cash pot. Register online, www.atyourleisure.info. The At Your Leisure Open at Trafalgar, November 15th, 10 a.m.
Am I Joe Davis? I'm not sure I'm Joe Davis. Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Joe Davis, and I'm standing in front of Leading Edge Aviation's new state-of-the-art training facility. And what better thing to put in front of that building than the newest state-of-the-art aircraft, the Cessna 400. This is the world's fastest certified fixed-gear aircraft. And boy, does it go fast. I can't wait to show you more about it. Come with me. Obviously, the first thing we would want to talk about when speaking about the Cessna 400 is its power plant. This is the twin-turbo Platinum Continental TSIO 550 motor, capable of blistering speeds of 235 knots at flight level 250. Translated, that means Salt Lake to Vegas in 90 minutes. Let's just say that Vegas isn't far enough for you and you want to take your family a little further. How about Chicago? Yeah, that's right, I said Chicago, on 2 internal tanks of gas, a range of 1,250 nautical miles. The aircraft's made out of some interesting materials. It's an entirely composite aircraft, made out of some really simple, lightweight materials. First of all, you have a Kevlar honeycomb. You've got carbon fiber and fiberglass. It's these lightweight materials that make this aircraft so fast. When you have an aircraft this clean and fast, you need something to dirty it up and slow it down. And that's why we have these. Speed brakes. Sure, the airplane's fast and you can go a long ways, but you got to take some stuff with you, right? Well, that's what you have this compartment for. Right here you can store 120 pounds of cargo. So let's just say that you and your wife decide that you want to go to Pebble Beach tomorrow. Well, you can do it and do it in style, and you'll have your golf club so you can have a nice game. So let's talk about my favorite part of this aircraft, and that's the flight deck. First of all, you know, we talked about being able to go a long ways in this airplane, and so you're going to need a seat that really makes you comfortable. There's leather seats in this aircraft. This is the Lexus of airplanes as far as the interior is concerned. And it even has lumbar support, so really going to keep you comfortable when you're sitting a little while. But hey, When you're sitting in this flight deck, trust me, a little while, it's not enough. This aircraft is very ergonomic. In fact, it's got side stick controls, which I gotta tell you are a lot more fun to fly than an old yoke. And instead of having cable lines and pulleys, this aircraft has control rods, so it gives you a little more feel on the stick. Really, this aircraft, you just put it where you want it and it goes there. So when we discuss ergonomics, we're not just talking about controls and seats, we also have to talk about the visuals. And this aircraft has some great ones. This is the Garmin G1000, and it has synthetic visual technology. It takes the terrain and other obstacles and actually creates a three-dimensional view of them. Imagine Star Wars. It even has squares that you fly through that'll get you right to your runway. I'm missing my favorite part, which is flying. Let's get this baby up in the air and see what she can do. So as you can see right here, we have Safe Taxi, which we were told to go from Alpha to Bravo. And if you look right here, we can see a visual of that so that we know exactly where we are on the airport. We're on an unfamiliar airport. We've got all the information we need to find our way. As you can see, we've set in Ogden in here, K-O-G-D. That's where we are right now in Ogden. And we're going to go to Vegas. Remember we talked about that? So let's put in Vegas. So enter that in. And there we go. We've got Vegas. It's 194 degrees, 340 nautical miles. We're going to be there in 90 minutes. All right, so right here you can see when we talked about how important it is to have traffic updates. Here's some traffic right here. It's 1,100 feet below. It's actually 1,000 now. And of course, we have other traffic going the other direction. It's 1,500 feet above us. So really, what's important about this is you're situationally aware. I know where all the other aircraft are. I'm safe. I don't have to worry about, you know, somebody showing up in my airspace that I'm not planning on. From the flight deck of the super fast Cessna 400, and look at this, 205 knots ground speed right now. I'm Joe Davis, looking forward to next time when we go up in the air in another great aircraft.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Reese Stein, and we're riding the range with Backcountry Outfitters in Torrey, Utah with Elizabeth Kleiman. Elizabeth, what kind of riding experience do you provide for your guests down here?
Well, I think it's a unique one, Reese. We offer so many different areas to look at. We've got the Red Rock behind us here at 7,000 feet. We've got the Alpine up at 11,000 feet. We go from here to there and all the way down to Capitol Reef National Park at 5,000 feet.
And you got wonderful horses like old Tramp here. He's doing a great job. He hasn't thrown me off once yet.
I think they're pretty special.
They are indeed. Well, we're going to head back to the trailhead now for our trailhead adventure. And this week we're going to take you on a Wild West roundup, but instead of cattle, we're rounding up bison, Utah's biggest bison herd out on Antelope Island, and a group of special kids are getting an up-close look as they get to play hooky for a day.
Fall brings with it flu shots and checkups, and even the bison of Antelope Island are not immune from this autumn tradition. It becomes the perfect opportunity for school kids to play a little hooky and get a first-hand look at the great beasts.
You're going to see some bison. Yeah, this is fun. I'll say cheese.
It's the field trip of a lifetime for dozens of special needs students from the Davis County School District.
It's especially special for the special needs kids. Yeah, they have a great time and it's fun. They see a lot of other students from our district and it's just a good time for them.
It's the 15th year these students with disabilities have journeyed to Antelope Island for this special day. The island is home to some 700 bison, and each fall they're rounded up for their annual physical checkup and auction. About 200 animals will be sold for meat or exhibit in zoos or other ranches. Bison meat is tasty and very lean because the animals are range grazers. This day serves as a dress rehearsal for the main roundup. Workers iron out bugs in the system with a few dozen animals.
As a side, we also invite children with special needs out during this day to watch what we're doing as the bison go through the chutes so they don't have to compete with the general public during the main working. They get an opportunity to come out and be close and be able to see where they don't have to try to look over people's heads, and they can feel the enthusiasm of the animal and be excited about it.
And the excitement was evident among the students.
I don't think I've actually ever seen a buffalo before. They are giving the buffalo shots, and as you can tell, I think some of them are a little freaked out by the shots, but I think it's a cool and a nice experience. to be out here.
One by one, the bison are moved into a squeeze chute where they're immobilized. The huge head is tethered securely to allow workers safe access. The large blue wand reads data on a microchip implanted in each animal, and the information reads out on a computer.
The veterinarian that we're working with, he does an excellent job, and he comes out and monitors the herd periodically looking for parasite loads in the bison. And if the parasite loads are too high, then we give them some medications to control parasites, both internal and external, and those are the medications which he is administering.
Though necessary, the treatment of the animals isn't appreciated by all the visitors. Teachers do their best to help everyone understand that the bison will be just fine.
So I don't think it's very cool at all. It's kind of sad. They're giving them shots and stuff, and they apparently don't like it.
The bison will continue to run free on Antelope Island, much to the joy of these special students. We all may want to avoid our checkups now and then, but just like the bison, an ounce of prevention goes a long way. From the trailheads of the West, I'm Bob Welty.
Well, the bison roundup is over for this year, but you can still see the animals roaming the range and in the corrals on Antelope Island. And what a difference a few miles can make. We're back here in Torrey, but look at the change of scene up here in the alpine country on Boulder Mountain. And backcountry outfitters can fix you up on an ATV and give you a tour of this spectacular country. Now it's time for our tips with Roger B.
Hey, I'm Roger B. Welcome to another edition of Dutch Oven 101. And I've been getting your cards and letters, and we've decided we're going to step things up a notch. And if you've been watching, you know that we're already doing that. So I'm going to take it to the next level. We're going to do a bundt cake in the Dutch oven, and not just any cake. We're going to do a chocolate cake. It's going to have coconut cream cheese filling, and then we're going to garnish it with a little confectioner's sugar and coconut on the outside as well. You ever gone camping, gone to the city park, you're going to do some cooking, you're missing a bowl, you're missing a spoon, whatever the case may be? I have. And it's no fun. So I always pack along some extra Ziploc bags, large, medium, small, because you can use them as mixing bowls. Put the cake mix in this case, some oil, a little bit of water, and of course, 3 eggs. Really simple. Close up the Ziploc bag. Make sure the Ziploc bag is closed, or you're going to wear said recipe, and start squishing it up. When it's mixed, it's ready to go. It's time to make the filling. Really easy. Another Ziploc bag, package of cream cheese, about a handful of coconut. Again, I don't really do well with having to measure things. Put it all together, zip the Ziploc bag, mush it back and forth. And about then, you're about ready to put the cake together. I like to use a real nice new bundt pan. Make sure you use some shortening on it. Make sure you get it very well greased. Then I'm going to take the Ziploc bag, cut the corner of it off, because that's what we're going to use to actually get it in the pan. Take your bundt cake pan, make sure you've greased it well. Start off with cake mix, of course. 1/2 to 3/4 of the cake mix. Now comes the filling. This is the fun part. Get the filling exactly in the middle, or as much as you can. It's not an exact science. And then let's finish off with the rest of the cake mix. At that point, the cake's basically ready to go. Dutch oven. Put the cake down in. It's really simple. We're going to cook it for about 40 minutes. If it's a 12-inch Dutch oven, you're going to put 14 to 15 coals on the top, 10 to 12 on the bottom. Spin the bottom and top periodically so that it cooks evenly, and no peeking. The magic moment is at hand. I'm going to give you a couple of tips when you're using a bundt pan, whether it's a Dutch oven or not. You can see I'm picking this up with my hands. I let them cool about 10 minutes. Then take the pan and jiggle it back and forth a little bit until you feel the cake start to thump from side to side. Now I'm going to show you how to finish making it pretty. Plate. Bundt cake pan. Moment of truth. Sweet. I want to finish it off a little bit. A little bit of powdered sugar on the top of it. A little bit of coconut. And that is a bundt cake in a Dutch oven. It's Dutch Oven 101, and I'm Roger B.
Closed captioning for this episode of AYL has been brought to you by Kane County, where we're still exploring the West.
Hey everybody, welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Corey Toon. I have a community calendar event to tell you about, and with the recent snowfall, this one is perfect. Next Thursday, November 13th, a good friend of At Your Leisure, Big Boys Toys, will be having their annual Snowmobile Customer Appreciation Party from 4 to 9 p.m. This is a great event and everyone is invited. There'll be lots of deals on snowmobiles and equipment, as well as the famous Stone Burgers. Chad will be there, so come on in and say hi and have a great evening. Big Boys Toys is located at 2529 North, Highway 89 in North Ogden. Once again, I'm Corey Toon. Now here's Reese Stein. He has more event info and our giveaway winner.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Reese Stein here on the beautiful Fremont River just outside Torrey, Utah. This is a private stretch of water operated by Backcountry Outfitters in Torrey, and they can hook you up with the same kind of great experience we're having. And I don't care if it's fly fishing in the fall or ice fishing in the winter or lake fishing in the summer. I can't get enough of this fishing experience, and what a great way to spend a beautiful fall day down here on the Fremont River catching big, beautiful spawning brown trout. Hey, I'd like to pause for a minute and remind you that next Saturday, November 15th, it's the big At Your Leisure Open at Trafalgar. The Open, $40 for a team of 3, $15 for individuals, and you must pre-register. Call Derek Manning at 801-891-8524. We'll have prizes, cash, all kinds of good stuff. We'll be there with the cameras to put you on TV. There'll be a catered lunch, and there'll be free passes so you can bring your entire family back and have a great time at Trafalgar at the same time that we're going to have next Saturday, November 15th at Trafalgar at the AYL Open. Hey, now it's time to check out this week's photo winner. Our winner is Goodwin Landon of Logandale, Nevada. Now, he sent in this nasty, dirty picture of his rhino with the AYL sticker, and he wins the Sandstone Inn package, including a half-day adventure with Backcountry Outfitters, either horseback riding or ATVing. Hey, let's check out next week's show.
Thanks for filling in for Corby and I this week, Reese. We appreciate it. I'm Chad Booth, and on our next episode, we'll be sending an open letter to the governor regarding his recent comments about motorized recreation after he took a tour to southern Utah with an environmental group. We won't just have our opinions about it, but those of the average outdoor recreationist as well. It's an important issue.
Sounds like a great show. We want to thank Backcountry Outfitters and the Sandstone Inn for hosting us this week. Sandstone Inn, a great full-service resort. They've got an indoor pool, a restaurant, and deluxe accommodations. And check out this view of the Fremont Valley and Boulder Mountain. The Sandstone Inn can take your reservations. They're open year-round with great rooms, and they can also hook you up with all the wonderful things there are to do here in the area. Well, that's all the time we have for this week, but between now and the next time we meet, be sure to get out with your family and have a good time at your leisure. Between the time now and...
Fastest... Dang it, I almost had it all.
We're going to be heading out with Backcountry Adventures. We're riding the trail with Backcountry Adventures Outfitters. We've been guests of Backcountry Adventures. Backcountry Adventures Outfitters. Backcountry Adventures. Now they can hook. Would you change your name? Are getting to play a day.